A very good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are studying well and staying safe at your home. Today we will start our new chapter, chapter number 2, classification of plants. So this is the first part of chapter 2, classification of plants. Children, as you all know that biology, like in your science, there are 3 branches: biology, physics and chemistry. And when we talk about biology, it deals with the study of living things. And when we say living things, broadly we can say plants and animals. So biology deals with the study of living things, that is plants and animals. But what is the need of classifying the organisms into different categories? This is the most important question which you need to understand. First of all, let us understand the meaning of term classification. In general, we can say, in common term, we can say classification means dividing into different groups. Dividing or categorizing into different groups. And proper definition will be a system of arranging living organisms into groups. We divide the living organisms into groups based on their similarities and differences. So the living organisms with similar characteristics are in the same group, and with different characteristics are placed into different groups. So this is the meaning of classification, a system of arranging living organisms into the groups based on their similarities and differences. Organisms with similar characteristics are placed into same group, and the organisms with difference in their characters are placed into separate groups. So this is the meaning of classification. You can say categorizing the organisms into different groups. Now this chapter is classification of plants. So basically in this chapter we will study about classification of plants. But before continuing this topic, we need to understand the classification of living organisms. That how all the living organisms present in this world are classified into different groups. After studying that, we will move on to the main topic, classification of plants. So just now I told you the meaning of term classification. But why we need to classify all the organisms? Like we can observe a huge variety of plants and animals in our surrounding. And you know very well that millions and billions of plants and animals are present on this planet Earth. So children, just try to understand, is it possible to learn the basic characteristics, the body parts, the features of each and every kind of plant and animal separately? Because huge variety is there and we are not able to understand, we cannot learn, we cannot recognize each and every living organism separately on the basis of their features and characters. So we need to classify them. We need to classify all the living organisms present on this planet Earth into some groups so that it becomes easy for us to study about the variety of living organisms. That is why it is very important to classify or categorize the living organisms. Clear? So now let us study about the advantages of classification. That I told you just now why we need to do the classification. Now let us study advantages of classification one by one. First, The characteristics of all members of a group can be understood by studying the characteristics of a few members. Now, suppose for example, there are 100 members placed in one group. But as I told you that the organisms which are there in a common group have most of the characters in similar. Same characters are there. So you need not to study their characters one by one. You just need to know the common characteristics of the organisms placed in a particular group. So those characteristics are in resemblance with the characteristics of all the members of a group. So you can easily study the characters of all the members which are placed in one group. It makes the study systematic. In a very systematic manner, we can classify from simple to complex, and then we can study their characteristics, features and examples. It helps in identifying different organisms and placing them into particular group. Like just now I told you that a group means it has a few basic features. So all the organisms which have those basic features can be grouped under the same group. So it becomes very easy to identify the different organisms, and we can easily place them into a particular group on the basis of their characteristic features. It gives an idea about the evolution. Evolution means how the organisms change from simple to complex. So it gives an idea about the evolution of organisms from simple to complex. Children, always remember, whenever we study the evolution or any kind of hierarchy, we always move from the simple to the complex. Like if suppose you want to study or understand any topic of any subject, first of all you need to understand the simple concepts of that particular topic, and then you can further go into the detail of those topics. So first of all we always study the simple one, and then we move on to the complex form. So this is known as evolution, that how the organisms are grouped from simple to complex form, or you can say how the organism changes from simple to complex form on the basis of their characteristic features. So these are the basic advantages of classification, that the characters of all members of a group can be understood by studying the characteristics of a few members. It makes the study very systematic and easy. It helps in identifying different organisms and placing them into particular groups on the basis of their characteristics features. It gives an idea about the evolution of organism from simple to the complex form. So I told you about the classification and advantages of classification. Now, as I told you earlier, the living world was broadly classified into two kingdoms. Kingdom Plantae, which include all the plants, and Kingdom Animalia, which include all the animals. Children, human beings also comes under the Kingdom Animalia. So earlier the living world was classified into Kingdom Plantae, means plants, and Kingdom Animalia means animals. But later on, with further studies and discovery of the variety of organisms, it has been observed that there are few organisms which have few characteristics which belongs to Kingdom Plantae and few characteristics which belongs to Kingdom Animalia. Like for example, bacteria, which is a microorganism or microbe. It has few characteristics of Kingdom Plantae and few characteristics of Kingdom Animalia. So that means bacteria can neither be placed in Kingdom Plantae nor in kingdom Animalia. And furthermore, so many variety of organisms have been discovered which can neither be placed in Plantae kingdom nor in kingdom Animalia. So that means there were some limitations of this classification, according to which the organisms were classified into two kingdoms only, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Next came a biologist, Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker. Children, I told you in class 6 as well, whenever you learn the name of any scientist, learn each and every letter of the spelling very carefully, because even if a single letter is wrong in the name of any scientist, you will get 0 marks. So learn the name properly. So Robert Whittaker in 1969 has proposed the 5 kingdom classification. That means, according to Robert Whittaker, all the living organisms present on this planet Earth should be classified into 5 kingdoms. And those 5 kingdoms can further be divided into divisions, subdivisions that I will explain you later. First of all, let me tell you the 5 kingdom classification given by Robert Whittaker. He has given 5 kingdom. First kingdom Monera, second kingdom Protista, third kingdom Fungi, fourth kingdom Plantae, fifth kingdom Animalia. So these are the 5 kingdom based on 5 kingdom classification proposed by Robert Whittaker. I repeat, kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia. So according to this classification, we can place all the organisms which are there on this planet Earth into these 5 kingdoms. We can place or categorize all the organisms under these 5 kingdoms on the basis of their basic characters. And these 5 kingdoms are further have divisions and subdivisions, which I will explain you later. So children, this much for today. Let us recap. Biology, it is a branch of science which deals with the study of living things, that means plants and animals. Classification is a system of arranging living organisms into groups based on their similarities and differences. Then I explained to you about the advantages of classification. Same is given in your book. You can read the same topic from your book as well. Always classification help us to understand and learn the categorization of organism in a very easy and systematic manner. And then previously the living world was classified into 2 kingdoms, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia, which has certain limitations. After that, a biologist, Robert Whittaker, in 1969, he has proposed the 5 kingdom classification, on the basis of which all the living organisms can be placed under these 5 kingdoms. Kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia. And this study is from simple to complex. Means Monera is the simplest group and Animalia is the most advanced and complex group. So children, this much for today. In our next video, we will discuss, I'll explain you each kingdom one by one. Children, in these 4 kingdoms, Monera, Protista, Fungi and Animalia, I'll tell you the basic characteristics and examples. But this kingdom Plantae we will study in detail as the chapter is classification of plants. So this much for today. Now I'm going to give you today's homework. So children, this is your homework. First of all, you will read pages 16 to 18 from the book, the topics which I just explained in the video, and underline the important terms with pencil. Then you will draw the flowchart of 5 kingdom classification, which is given on page number 18 in your notebook as the introductory page. Use pencil and scale to draw this flowchart very neatly. And in the diagrams, if you use the color, you always prefer to use the light colored pencils. So you will draw this flowchart. Heading will be 5 kingdom classification. Then use pencil and scale and draw the flowchart neatly in your notebook on the first page of chapter number 2 as introductory page. And this flowchart is given on page number 18. So this is your homework. Take care and study well.